Hello and welcome to the GBHL podcast. You're here with your host GBHL Jamie
and GBHL Harry.
and we're here to talk about the ETC. Obviously we're Team England.
Flash around the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hopefully you can see.
Team England. Team England.
Yeah, so we're going to do a quick preview of what the event's going to be like and what our predictions are for round one as the draws are all up. So if you don't know what it is, you can go check it out. Just Google Middle Earth WTC or Middle Earth ETC and you'll get the web page for it. But basically there are 18 teams going to Germany next weekend to battle it out to see who is the best nation at Hobbit SBG.
Come on.
It's going to be England, obviously.
Gotta be.
Hopefully.
We could maybe say Scott's second as with the GBHL.
Yeah, I guess. For now. until they all leave later on.
Yes.
So the way the tournament works is teams are paired off against each other. There are 4 players per team, and the outcomes of those games will determine who wins the round, and then it's sort of just a Swiss rank tournament up to the final round. There are going to be 6 games, which means with 18 teams there will be somebody you can win the tournament and lose a round effectively.
Okay.
So somebody can get 5 round wins and then be knocked off the pedestal. So you've got to hold on.
Yes.
So it'll be quite interesting.
There
are tons of people going, so 72 players in total, which is a ton of people. It's a big event. It's a big event going.
It does. It means writing and reading all the lists is quite a process.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lists.
We had to submit our lists a couple of weeks ago, and it's all blind. So you submit it. You submit 5 lists. One of them is a reserve in case a player drops out, and then a last-minute player gets a choice between the list that the person had or the 5th list.
Yeah.
You had to submit them. Obviously, I think everybody's put in a bluff list because everyone expects their players to turn up.
Yes.
So the 5th list is decent, but is also a bit of a bluff. And yeah, we submitted ours, and all the lists got released about a week ago.
Yeah, so Dave Nolan, who's sort of running the event, he put up lots of videos on his YouTube page.
Dwellers in the Dark.
Dwellers in the Dark, so if you want to view the list. And he's done sort of Skype sessions with different captains or different players across Europe, across the world actually, to be fair. He's including the Americans and the Canadians in that. And they've sort of gone through and discussed the lists, which is quite interesting. It's also good, I think, from our perspective to see what other countries' takes on certain lists are, what they consider to be meta and whatnot.
Yeah. So the way the tournament works is it's been a recent change to the previously it was each win. If you got 4 wins, you win the round. If you get 3 wins, you win the round. If you get 2 wins and it's 2 each, then VP difference would determine who got the points for it. But there's recently been a change whereby every game is now worth tournament points. So in a matchup between nations, there's going to be 16 tournament points available. So obviously that's split over 4 games, so 4 points per game. And if you get double your opponent's VPs in game, you get 4 tournament points. So let's say a game finished and you'd scored 6 VPs, I'd scored 3, you'd get 4 tournament points, I'd get 0. If you had more but not double, it'd be 3-1. If you draw, it's 2-2, and so on and so forth. So denial is a big part of the game now.
Seems to be.
Stopping your opponent scoring whilst you keep your double lead is key to victory.
Yes, and even if it's the opposite way around, if you're losing, if you can still
just
try and get
score some VPs.
Yes, to prevent your opponent getting double to you, because even if you can come out of it with 1
point, it might make a difference overall.
Yes, especially so. Say if our team, if 3 of us win 4-0 something, then the last player's losing, but if they can still scrape that 1 point, it still could be massive over the
course of an entire 2 days.
Yeah.
So the roundups were released post lists being submitted, so you couldn't potentially tailor your list to what the nation's known for doing.
Yes.
And there are some big matchups round 1, which we thankfully don't consider ourselves to be a part of.
Yes. No disrespect
no
to
disrespect
our
to Swedish.
So should we go through?
Yeah.
Okay, so alternate. Okay, so the first one is Germany Team 1 versus France Team 1.
Yeah.
So some countries have submitted 2 teams.
Yeah.
I imagine whether they've done a stronger team and a less strong, or if they've gone for a theme.
Split and
and competitive, that sort of thing. I imagine Germany 1 and France 1 will be a good one because looking at their lists,
Yeah.
they've got some strong lists.
Face off quite well.
Yes.
Then we've got Spain Team 1 versus Team Scotland.
Come on, Scotland.
Come on, Scotland, that one. Do it for Great Britain.
And then we've got Poland, the Polish Hussars, which is Team 1 versus Team Belgium.
Then we've got ourselves, Team England versus Team Sweden.
And then there's France Team 2 versus Denmark.
Then Switzerland versus the Netherlands.
Then another good matchup is Poland Team 2 versus Germany Team 2.
After seeing the list, that one is like the round 1 giant killing.
Yes,
well, not giant killing, but it's like Man U versus Man City round 1.
Very much so.
It's like, oh, that's a grim draw.
Yep.
Then we got Spain 2 versus Italy 2.
And finally, Italy 1 versus Netherlands 2.
What I think is really cool to see is that quite a lot of these nations, like Switzerland, I would not have thought the SPG scene was big there.
Yes.
But it's great to see that they've got a team together and are coming down to the ETC.
Very much so, and it's greatly interesting watching some of the videos that David put up to see some of the rivalries between countries.
Yeah.
So listening to the Dutch captain, they're saying they're not too bothered how they finish, as long as they finish above the Belgians. It's quite so it's obviously that neighbourly rivalry there and things like that.
Yeah. I guess that's similar to us with Scotland. Like,
Yes.
If we don't win the event, beat the Scottish.
Yes, that's it.
That's the game, the aim.
Well, I'm sure. I know exactly. The Scots will be good drinking partners for us over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
As always.
I think everyone will be. Tim, one of the organisers, was saying he's stocking up on German beer for the event. It's like, good on you.
Just got to stay sensible. The Queen and country must resist.
Right, so we are going to check out the Swedish lists because we thought it'd be quite interesting to do our sort of review of that. Get the list now.
Yep, so they submitted 5 lists, one list being your bogey list if you want, or the 5th list.
Yep.
And this is something that's been quite interesting and quite fun to do, is reading through all the countries' lists and then finding out which has been the 5th list.
Yeah.
Which is, do you feel the one that might be a red herring, or maybe, I don't know, it could be a surprise factor.
Yeah.
So do you want to go for list?
Yeah.
That's not it for starters.
Did it not?
No, it's the other one.
Oh yeah, it's the other tree bird list.
Ah, it's on top.
Okay. So it's to start off with, Treebeard is the general, and the tournament's 800 points.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an idea of what.
Oh, and you can't get duplicate
And
heroes.
yeah, no duplicate heroes between players, unless they have a different profile.
Yes.
So you can have Saruman the White and Saruman the Wise.
Yes.
So Treebeard is the general, and he's leading 1 Ent. And you've got Guahir leading 4 Great Eagles, and Fatty Bolga to finish off the 5 points. 7 models, and is potentially quite a scary list because they will commit on their terms because the Great Eagles have got that 12-inch movement. There's 5 of them.
There's 8 models.
8.
4 eagles, go ahead, tree
Oh
birds.
yeah, there is. Yeah, not 7. I've ignored Fatty probably.
They should have kept it at 7 because 7 you have to break 7 you have to kill 5.
Yes.
Whereas if it's 8,
You're still killing
I
5.
still kill 5, aren't you? It's
Yeah.
the quarter though. It's slightly easy then.
Yeah.
So if it's 7, you have to get down to 1.
If so, you have to get down to 1. If it's 8, you have to get down to 2.
Yeah, just leave fatty, kill
Just
the
leave
other
Fatty.
7.
Oh yeah. But because they can engage on their terms, the number of hurls that could potentially go off in that first
Yes.
turn is.
Agree. Well, they could just hit so hard early on and do enough damage that it then makes it so hard to trap and trying to kill them or tie them up the following turns.
Yeah.
I think that scares me. I think like a few hurls could really do damage, and then by that point you've lost a third of your army, which you then needed to get more dice in order to trap and kill.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with the Great Eagles is they only have 2 dice, so on that first turn, you'd hope, like, as long as you've got spear supports and maybe a banner around, you might just scrape through a couple of those fights.
Yes.
But so if Guahir goes in and Guahir wins a fight and uses might to win the fight and just hurls, then it doesn't matter that the Great Eagles lose their fights because they're not getting hit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's just potentially a nasty list. And also, like, for like heirlooms and things, the Eagles can pick them up because they're on foot technically, because they're not ridden, so they can just zip over and
Yeah, and
touch
once
a load
they've
of
got
objectives.
an heirloom, it's so
you're
hard.
not catching
Because
them.
you can compel them, but you can't force them to drop.
Correct. Yeah.
But all the same, it's very difficult. I think then you're gonna have to chase the game.
Yeah, and they can disengage and fly away so easily
Yeah.
that it's potentially it seems like a weak list at first glance, and then it has got some skill to it.
I think so, and yes, in the hands of a good player. So, for example, I know the way that Ed plays with his Phobos, he's very good at playing one before the other in terms of the combats in order to
Yeah.
help his other race out, and I think
Picking the order of your fights there will be very important.
very much so. And even like Treebird is a tough general.
Yeah.
The 3 wounds, 3 fate, defense 8 with his high fight value. He can be a pain.
Should we go on to the next list?
Yeah. Okay, so this is an interesting list. I think it's quite a scary one.
Yeah.
So we've got Durbers as the general. He's leading 1 giant spider, 2 Gundabad black shields, 2 Gundabad black shields with spear, 3 warg marauders, and 4 wild wargs. And then it's a Moria shaman leading the same warband. So a spider, 4 Gundabads.
6 War Marauders.
Yeah, 3 war marauders, and then 4 wild wargs. So straight away you've got 2 giant spiders, 6 warg marauders, and 8 wild wargs, all moving 10 inches plus.
Oh.
So there's a bit of mobility there. And then you've got another Moria shaman. He's got 4 goblins with spear, 4 goblins with shield, and 4 goblins with bow. And then a Gundabad captain with the same warband, and a Moria captain with the same warband. So number 65 models. It's got 2, 4, 7, 9 mites. It's not bad. And let's say those 12 models. That can,
6 War Marauders is the grim.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, the marauders, and obviously then they can be backed up as well. So therefore attacks.
And they all shoot. Like, it's got a lot of shooting. Granted, it's rubbish shooting.
Yes.
But there's 4, 8, 12, 24 shots a turn.
Yeah, which is
Even
pretty
when
tough.
you're hitting on 6s when you move, which, given the number of sort of blinding lights we've got available to us, is kind of grim because they
Yes.
don't care about that, and the War Marauders can move 10 and do it.
Yes, of course. So that can be paying for casters' horses and things like that. 65 models and a double Fury in there as well. So if one Fury doesn't go off, he managed to kill one shaman, the other shaman's still there to protect him.
Yeah.
And then that strong little core of the 8 Gundabads, defense 6, imagine sort of protect the general.
Just to keep Durbers safe. Yeah.
It doesn't have a caster so much as like a wraith.
Yeah, which is probably the saving grace for armies coming up against it.
Yes,
and it is largely defense 5 with no
even
protection
largely
from
defense
shooting.
4.
Yes,
You've got spears and bows.
Spears and bows, and then
So strand 2 shooting might hurt it.
mass
Fury
like
saving.
rangers and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still think it's a solid list, and against objective-based play, and even on heirlooms that can get across the board.
I mean, the double shaman allows you in domination to go to 2 places and not worry about breaking.
Yeah, and whilst at the same time sending off your fast-moving wild wargs and spiders and marauders after.
Go and harass the opposing home objectives. Yeah.
It was a decent list.
Decent, good list. Next up, we got a very interesting list. One that I dismissed at first and then came back to it maybe not. So Candish King is the general.
Assuming he's on foot.
Assuming he's on foot. So with the lists, we don't know the exact war gear of things. I assume he's on foot because in Dave's videos, when someone's on horse, he says on horse. Yes. So I assume he's just a general to stick around. I think they're courage 5 with 2 will, so they're not going to run away. Then you got 2 Candish with bow, 3 Candish with 2-handed axe, 2 Candish, just generic, and then 2 Easterlings with shield. And I assume the 2 Easterlings with shield are going to stand in front of the king and be an arrow blocker.
Probably so, yeah.
Then Kamul on Fellbeast, the Drummer Lake on Fellbeast, and then a War Priest on Armoured Horse, 5 Black Dragon Cataphracts, 1 Black Dragon Cataphract with Banner and Shield, and 1 Black Dragon Cataphract with War Drum and Shield, and then a Dragon Knight on Armoured Horse. It's speedy. All those armoured horse guys are going 15 inches whilst they're not charging.
Yes, of course, and even 20 on a march.
20 on the march. Yeah.
Whoa! That's pretty fast.
Zoom.
And they can accompany then the Fellbeasts and go a decent distance.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, isn't it, because it's only 19 models.
Yeah.
You've got a little warband on foot that's mainly canned.
Yeah, and is arrow fodder.
Yes.
That would be the target for arrows, because you will get very close to breaking the army if you take out those 12, what is it?
For sure.
2, 4, 6, 9 models that are very easy to kill with shooting.
Yeah.
Which is nearly broken.
Yes, it does have the double Fellbeast threat. Mine being one of them's got no mics, it's the Drummerlink, but then the Drummerlink's also very good at preventing other heroes.
Yeah.
The Camel and Fellbeast is a good combat hero, we know that. But might wise, it's 2, 4.
I mean, they're also the Dragon Knight with they've got Fury in there.
Yes.
So the
and Camel gets that Fury as well, doesn't he?
Camel gets the Fury. But also there's the Easterling Dragon Knight, who's a bit of a beast in combat. Yes. And you can make him strength 6 with the Easterling War Priest.
Of course. Yeah.
So he's like a second, almost like a tertiary threat. Because you've got the 2 Fellbeasts, And then this strength 6 3 attack beast coming in on horse.
Yeah. So at first I was sure this was the 5th list. I just
Yeah.
thought, I'm not sure here, but the double fell beast and then the speed, it means it can engage relatively fast.
Yeah.
And then a couple of hurls can just do a job all the same anyway.
Exactly. Like the 2 fell beasts is enough to not deal with, but is enough to disrupt most armies. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think it's a bit. The camera is susceptible to blasts.
Yeah.
Saying that if the Dwimlake's in range, you might have to invest a few will to get the blast off.
There's not a great deal of might because you assume the War Priest is going to channel.
Yeah.
So that's 1 might gone.
Yeah.
The Dragon Knight has 1 might but gets it back if he kills an enemy hero.
Correct.
I think it's 1 might, maybe 2.
I think,
Potentially
yeah.
2.
I think it might be 1 because I think Amdur gets 2.
Yeah.
I think it might be.
I think you're right there. Gamel's got 2, but he'll want to use them for himself to boost dice rolls.
Yeah.
The Candish King has 2, but will probably be away from the fight hiding.
he's the
You would
general.
assume anyway. So there's not really any expendable might besides the King who we expect to be hidden.
So I think it's an all-in-one list. It needs to really hit hard early on, get all the cavalry and get double heroic combat. They can't with the Dwimmerlake.
Yeah, exactly. Is the
unless him
and also if he does just roll a 4 when he charges in, there's a very good chance whatever he's fighting is gonna beat him. Like his 3 attacks aren't guaranteed to win him a fight, which is the scary thing for Dwimmerlake on Fellbeast. I think the Dwimmerlake is best on horse.
Yes, I think so.
Where he can just be a pain in the arse.
Yeah, and protect and help the army out that way.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting list. It's not like a list I've played before.
No.
I think so. One to think about if it is one of the genuine lists.
Yep.
Okay, so then we've got list 4, which is Saruman the White on horse. He's leading 4 feral Urukai and then 8 berserkers.
Yep.
Then we've got Vrasku leading 2 Urukai crossbows with shield, 3 crossbows with pike, and then 7 normal crossbows. Then we've got a shaman with 7 berserkers and 5 ferals, and then finally Grima on horse. So around 40 models.
Yeah, so sort of the standard Faruka list.
It is, isn't it?
And that's got to be a list they're bringing.
I think so, yes.
It's a tried and tested list. There's very little that goes wrong in there. And yeah, I think that's a genuine.
Yeah, if it's got a decent shooting, so it's got the 12 plus Vrasku, 14 crossbows,
shots.
which is heavy. So against armies that haven't got blinding light, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, and defense 4 is grim against that.
It's still got 15 berserkers and 9 ferals. Which pain.
Good combat.
You got your caster in Saruman. You got your protection of the shaman for Fury.
Yeah.
And then Grima to neuter heroes.
So in this list, the shaman here is there for channel Fury, nothing else, is he? Like, they don't need the courage boost.
Yeah, berserkers don't. Yeah, I agree. So you assume that's a might there for the shaman.
A might for the shaman gone. But then Vrask, it is an interesting thing because having played a very similar list to this, having Vrasku, does it not feel a little small?
It does seem small. It still gets 40 models. I'm surprised it gets 40.
Wise, I'm gonna get my phone and check because that seems like it's missing out on something because.
And even the numbers the numbers don't add up to
like
12, 24. I think it's missing a warband.
Yeah.
36. Yeah, because at the moment it's only got 38 models, so it's missing a warband.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
12.
Saruman on horse is 180 because he's evil.
Yeah, plus Grima is 20.
Plus Grima's 20.
35 because I'm.
30.
I know, 31.
Huh?
25 plus 6 for a horse, is it?
No,
is it 10?
I think he's 10 points.
Okay. So,
I think he's 30 because he's 20 base plus 10 for a horse.
yeah. Okay.
Vrasku's 60, Shaman's 55.
With armour, yeah.
But he's not got armour, I don't think.
Okay, and then 15 times 15 for the berserkers.
300. No.
And 9 times 12 for the ferals.
9 times 12.
And then 77 for the normal crossbows.
Yep.
Plus 36. Plus 20. Plus 24.
That's 24.
Yeah.
750.
So it looks
something yeah. It looks like there should be a hero in there really.
because it does seem low on the might. So say you've got Vrasku and Simon for the army then.
Because I'm pretty sure I've played an 800 point list with Damien's version, and I remember having more
than that.
heroes. Although I think Damien took less. I don't think he took full warbands.
You know, like 10 and 11.
Like 8 in the warbands, but got an extra hero in there. Because usually you have like Ugluk or Lurtz to strike with. But yeah,
there's 40 models there. That's right, 'cause it's 3 full warbands and 4
it's 39
heroes.
plus 1. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's it. It's strong for the shooting, but if it comes against blinding light, it's still I think it's going to lose that shooting war.
Yeah.
Saruman's good, but he's no good
Yeah,
casting
he's
Saruman.
Gandalf casting, isn't he?
Yeah.
But with 2+ immobilize, which is decent.
If the opponent hasn't got anything to do with Grima, I think the might will balance out.
Yeah.
I think this one of those. So when the rounds go up, you get to pick what army you go against. I think they'd have preference to try and pick that against a more beneficial one.
Yeah. Well, if that goes against the Fell Beast, that's the best one for that.
Yeah. What do you think that's the best one for the Felbeats?
If I was Team Sweden,
Yes.
I would, out of their lists, that would be the one I put up against the Fell Beast.
Shooting would hurt.
Not so much the shooting, just the combat that once you lose the fight, if a ringwraith loses a fight against the Ferals and Berserkers, they can either very easily kill a Fell Beast, or just, if they've trapped it, pile all those attacks onto the ringwraith.
Yes.
Like 3 Berserkers trapping a Fell Beast is 12 strikes, needing 6s to wound the guy on top, or 5s to kill the Fell Beast.
Yes. You go down quick, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think I always strike the Fell Beast, because once the Fell Beast is gone, I don't care about that thing on the floor anymore. Like, 2 Berserkers can deal with him now.
I suppose it just depends, because I agree, but just as if I was confident that I had enough dice in there, even if I went 3 Berserkers and then the next one went two-handed.
If one went two-handed, I'd definitely go for the guy on top, because it's 5s with him.
With his 4, that's doubles.
5s are only ones because he'd faint, obviously.
They do take him down quick.
And finally, a good Wood Elf list.
Yeah, strong.
One that reminds me of a list I took up to Scotland a couple of years ago when I won the event against Ed. Gladriel is the leader, with 4 Wood Elf warriors with spear, 4 Wood Elf warriors with throwing dagger and elven blade, 1 Wood Elf with banner, and 3 Wood Elves with elf bow. Legolas, with 4 Wood Elf warriors with spear, 4 Wood Elf warriors with throwing dagger and elven blade, and 4 Wood Elf warriors with elf bow. A Wood Elf captain, with 4 Wood Elf warriors with spear, 3 Wood Elf warriors with throwing dagger and elven blade, 4 Wood Elf warriors with elf bow. Haldir with 4 Wood Elf warriors with spear, 3 with throwing dagger and elven blade, 4 with Wood Elf with elf bow.
50 models.
50 elves.
50 elves. 4, 8, 12, 11 shots before Legolas and Haldir, so you've got 16 shots a turn with blinding light.
You've got to assume Legolas has honorary elven cloak, and Haldir is either going to be Defender of Helm's Deep or Shooty Haldir.
I'd assume
and you would assume Shooty Haldir with armour and bow.
Yeah, and I even thought the captain might have a bow.
Yeah,
if you're going full out with shooting, you might as well invest and get more might on the bows.
Well, the interesting thing is the Wood Elf captain with bow is the exact same point as a Galadriel captain with bow, because they can exchange their blade for bow, and then you get a point of armour.
Get an army, because they're only defensive for those captains, aren't they? Yeah, it's squishy.
Squishy.
It's a strong list with all the shooting.
Yeah.
And it's got the banner in it.
It's got so many elves in there that they're going to do well. They've got magic, they've got resistance to shooting.
Yeah. Personal views, I would have made Legolas the general over Galadriel.
Agreed.
And I would have dropped the throwing daggers and gone for Galadriel Court.
Yeah.
In there as well. Because throwing daggers.
Firstly, drop the throwing daggers and boost the Wood Elf captain to Thranduil. That'll make the list very scary.
Yes.
Because then you get the Terrible and the Nature's Wrath, and another very good 3-might hero.
Yes, totally agree. The only thing with the blade, the daggers, as well as the bows, if it doesn't play blinding light when it gets within 6-inch range, that's like 20, 30 shots, strength 3 hits, which is pretty grim.
Yes it is.
So it scares me, I think, a bit, that list, because it's 50 elves.
Yeah.
And elves were pain, even though they're all defense 3, there's still a lot of them.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, yes, you can kill them very easily, but they frequently win fights, so they're tough to bring down because your chance to kill them is so small. So you've got to take advantage of when you do beat them.
I agree.
But the best way to beat elves, from my sort of extensive experience playing them, is get into one-on-one fights with them.
Yes.
Where the fight value is not worth nearly anything.
Yes, 1 dice on 1, whereas because the defense 3, you should be wounding 1 and 2.
You wound them, exactly, when you do win. I think like the dice math is like when it's 1-on-1, fight value means that you win like 52% of the time, and then fight value is worthless at that point. The more dice you have, the better you are with fight value.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of blades, which I think is good because it needs something, that list needs something to crack defense 6.
Yeah, so they have to go two-handed against them.
Yeah. Lots of spears. They haven't gone for spears on the bows, which is something we've always done, haven't we?
Yeah.
It just gives you more versatility.
You can bring them into the fighting line.
I suppose all these upgrades we're talking about, he's drops those numbers and numbers and numbers.
He does.
We almost went for an elf list, but that's with another caster as well, and that dropped them all to 34.
Yeah, that felt far too low, didn't it?
It did, whereas this 50, it's a lot of elves.
This is more like Tom Harrison style of list than...
Yes. Well, I think it's very much like the one you've run a few times just with Thranduil.
Yeah.
Like you said, you won an event with it. So, there are the 5 lists. I'm pretty sure that elves is one of the lists they're going to take.
Yeah, I think the elves, the Furorkers, the Goblin Horde...
Yes.
And then it's a toss-up between Treebeard and the Eagles and the Felbeasts.
Yes.
Both of which are pretty scary lists in the... I think both of them are manageable. I think that the Eagle list is scarier, personally.
Yeah, I think so too.
So hopefully they bring in the Candish list.
But that's to see some canned.
Yeah. Some representation at the ETC.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think they're the list. We're not going to reveal ours because we don't know handicap ourselves in any way.
Nope.
But
yeah. So that's Team Sweden's list. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the list, and let us know what you think the 5th list is going to be. And then we're going to make our predictions as to so that those roundups earlier, who we think is going to win.
So I'm not going to go back through the list again, and we're not going to do that on here because it would take too long.
Take all day.
So we just say from what we got an idea of what the lists are in our head, who we think will do.
So Germany 1v France 1.
Germany for me.
Yeah, same. Germany. I think I've got some of the strongest lists in the tournament.
Yes, it's their home turf, so I think they want to prove point. And the Germans love competing in competitions.
Spain v Scotland. I'm going to go with the Scottish because I know them.
Yes, I think I'm comfortable with the Scots. They've got some good lists as well.
Poland versus Belgium.
It's got to be Poland.
Polish Hussars won Ardacon, mate. They must be sort of up there with the favourites.
I think they're a threat, aren't they, as well? I think we worry about them.
Sweden v England.
Yeah.
Obviously England.
Yeah.
France versus Denmark.
France 2. I think because Denmark have gone theme, haven't they?
Denmark have gone super themey, and the captain has said that he's there to drink, so I'm going to go with France 2 again with that one. We'll
read some of those lists out because they're quite nice. It's a nice change to reading some of these really sweaty lists that have got all sorts of combinations.
Switzerland versus the Netherlands. I'm going with Netherlands for this one, the Dutch.
Yeah, I can't quite recall the Swiss list, but I think the Dutch.
Poland 2 versus Germany 2. The big boy fight.
Oh, it is. I'm probably still going to say Poland.
I'll go opposite and I'll say Germany 2 are going to come through on this one.
Okay.
Spain 2 versus Italy 2. I think Italy.
Italy's
list are great.
They are.
Some of the
We've
best.
been letting them play in our league too much.
Yeah.
Tommaso and everyone there.
And then Italy 1 versus Netherlands 2. Again, I'm going to go Italy in this one.
Yep.
That's that. So our only point of contention is Poland versus Germany. Everything else we agreed on.
I think to say that I'm more than happy that they're playing each other in the first round.
Oh yes.
It means just be wary that the team that loses doesn't submarine.
Yep. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, because the Polish, obviously, they brought 8 strong players to Ardacon, and this is 2 teams of 4, so assuming maybe that's them. Interestingly, though, Adam Sokol he's the coach, isn't he?
Is he?
Not playing.
Oh, okay.
So, because he did one of the reviews with Dave.
Right, okay.
But then I suppose they've got 9 good players that are present at the events. So, we've circled a couple of lists that we thought we'd discuss, just because they're interesting ones. This is one for this is Germany, Team 1.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's the 5th list.
Oh, I think so, yeah. It doesn't seem great. Is it Germany Team 1? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So, 1, 2...
3.
Oh no, hang on, I don't know because there's Goblin.
It's a list at the tournament.
Yeah.
It's a bit messy.
It's got Treebeard,
yep.
Tom Bombadil, Aragon with armour, bow and cloak, Legolas with cloak, and Malbeth.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem great.
No, it could be a pain into the death though, or something like that.
That's it.
Tom Bombadil and Treebeard, as we know, is a difficult pairing.
It's a pain to take down Treebeard when he's getting a wound, fate, and might back.
And he gets a 5-up save from Malbeth.
Yeah.
I'd take Malbeth off
that's
first.
it. Like, if it's any objective-based game, you just go and stand on the objectives.
Yeah, be a bugger at Lords.
Yes.
If you take the wounds off Treebeard, and then he gets them back from Tom, the wounds still count.
They still count. You can just... There's infinite VPs available.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so we don't think that's a great list. It seems like a pain in some of them. It's a bit of a roadblock, but
I think that people put it in sometimes as fun list as the fifth. So who are we going to? We're going to we're going to Denmark, aren't we?
Yeah. There's one Smaug at the event.
Oh, there is.
Which is just Smaug on his own.
Yeah, what else did you tally up in terms of ridiculous numbers of things?
There are 12 King's Champion at the event. Because banners are worth VPs, and he is an awesome fighter and brings 2 banners with Fate.
So that means there's 24 heralds.
Yeah.
Heralds. All with Fate and no.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Warg Marauders.
Yes, yeah, it's a popular choice for Goblin units.
Yeah.
Which, they're a pain.
I think only us and the Scots are taking a Golden King.
Yes.
Which is an interesting one. Well, this is quite interesting to read the list and see what metas are and what are used. The Morannon Hordes with Ringgraves is very common. Gullivad Black Shields with Shamans is common.
Yeah.
There's we to devise because we almost took that list, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We sort of expected that one.
Okay, so we have found Team Netherlands 2, their lists, and I think it looks like they've gone for one of their teams. Team 1 have gone competitive, and Team 2 have gone more theme. So they've gone, for example, they've gone for a nice Rohan force. They've got an Eamon Knight the Pelennor, 2 Sons of Ale, Royal Guard on horse with 3 Royal Guard on horse with shield, 3 red shields, Erkenbrand, 3 Royal Guard, 2 Sons, 3 red shields, Eowyn, 2 red shields, 4 Outriders. Oh, and then Saruman White on horse, just to take the
was
theme
nice
away a
of
bit.
him, yeah.
Quite a nice Rohan force. Doesn't seem too scary.
No.
A nice Lake Town list.
Yep. The Fiefdoms list. Imrahil with Armoured Horse, a bunch of Knights and then Pikemen. Forlong with Axemen, Rangers and Knights, and Angbor with Clansmen, Rangers, and then Radagast on horse.
Just Radagast just to drop in.
Yeah.
I mean that's because that's the only caster they had left.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because they've got Gandalf, they've got Sam the White, and then Radagast just throw him in, bring the wizards.
There's very few pure Hobbit lists, so...
Yeah, there's no pure, is there?
No.
Sorry, Hobbit era list.
Sorry, yeah, Hobbit era list. So a lot of them is still obviously very much the meta scenes and the more competitive listings through Lord of the Rings era. So Netherlands Team 2 have brought Gandalf with Lake Town, Bard, Lake Town, Percy, Lake Town, Alfred, Lake Town, Hilda, Lake Town. So that's 65 miles, so that's a nice pure one. Yep. There's a Hunter Orc one somewhere, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Well, it's not pure, it's because it's got Orc Shamans in it.
Oh, has it? Oh,
but it's like named heroes with 10 Hunter Orcs each, Shaman with Morannon Orc Spears. Shade, I think.
Which is interesting. There's a few with some parts of Iron Hill's dwarves dropped in, a couple of those heroes.
Yep.
So
a couple of Goat Riders popping up.
Yeah, nice to see. And then there's a Biffa with his 2+ resist.
Yeah, Biffa with his resist everything.
Good for
being a good general.
Yeah, especially with Lady Light round. Well,
yeah.
So it's just impossible then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we won't keep going on about lists, but
there's too many. There's 72.
There's an interesting mix of things. You see, there's quite a few double caster drops.
Yep.
Like Gandalf, Saruman, and there's how many old Felbeast lists are there?
I think there are only 2 with classes or Felbeast, maybe 3.
Yeah, so we know there's. Well,
we've submitted one.
Potentially have. Could be off it.
Let's be honest, everyone knows Ed's taking Felbeasts. That's one we can't bluff on.
That's true.
We've got Ed's Felbeast list. We've got a Felbeast list. I can't remember who's got it, but it's Usual Suspects, Undying, Knavumbar, Kamul, then Drumlake and Spider Queen. Good list. And there are some that are like 3 Felbeasts and a smattering of troops and whatnot. So Felbeasts are popular because they are underpointed, I think. So
and they win.
They do such damage with hurl that it's silly not to take them when you're competing on the highest level. I think that's what I hope all teams understand, that this is a hyper competitive event, and so to expect tricks and foul play and not playing for the fun of it, like not going, you know what, I don't need to hurl this turn, but going like, I'm going to hurl and I'm going to hurl it on the best trajectory possible, like playing to optimise basically.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Felbeasts. I don't think we can avoid them at all.
No, you can't. We have to play them.
Yeah.
So that's our sort of rundown for ETC. We're super excited. We're flying out on Friday and flying back Monday. And throughout the event, we're going to be live streaming things through Facebook Live on the Great British Hobbit League and the GBHL podcast page on Facebook. So be sure to subscribe and check them out. And yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, send us some support, guys.
Yeah,
we need it.
Awesome. All right. Hopefully we'll come back with the silverware.
Yes.
And do England proud.
Come on. we'll probably see you in a few days for our vlog, won't we?
Yes,
We'll go
yeah.
from there.
Alright, so I think that's it for a wrap on this little episode. So, as ever, guys, be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Support us on Facebook and like us on Twitter.
Support your Hobbit host in the links below.
Oh, I've messed myself up by
Yeah, no, you did it the wrong way around.
Support your Hobbit.
I just did that. Oh, it's the way Hobbit. Okay. Right.
Go on.
Happy strategy battle gaming, everyone. Hopefully, our Team England will do better than our sign out.
Outro. Oh, the one with the